It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is Queensryche from the Operation Mindcrime release with The Needle Lies.
Yes, it does.
And Chris, I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but heroin use is on the rise again.
Really?
Yep.
Why?
Well, I've got a
Black
few...
people?
No, this is not a racial thing.
Wasn't that your story, though, that black people are raising heroin use or something?
No.
What was that, like, last 2 weeks ago? There was some drug use thing that you said was on the rise because of black neighborhoods or something.
Well, I don't know, but we'll get into this.
All right.
But one of the reasons I'm bringing this to the table,
okay,
and I'll get to it in a little bit, but right here in the state of Indiana, there's a problem with heroin.
What, not a good grade?
Well, no, I will get to it, but this goes back to something that we spoke about probably a few months ago.
Okay.
When we were discussing not only drug use, but the rise in HIV cases as well.
That's right.
Okay. Heroin. And see, this is the thing that always amazes me, I guess, because I'm just kind of a conscientious person and I'm a thinking person.
Okay.
But I'm thinking after, I'm going to say 4 decades of heroin related deaths and incidences, etc., with high profile people.
Sure.
That after all this time, we've learned nothing.
Well, it's one thing that famous people die from heroin use, but it's another thing to feel that good, man.
Well, I couldn't tell you what heroin feels like because I've never done drugs. Well, I know you've said you've dabbled in that before.
I've used it twice. I've shot it twice.
Okay. Well, regardless of that, and the consequences that seem to follow that kind of thing, and the notable deaths that have happened or have occurred, due to heroin use and abuse.
Sure.
We've still learned nothing.
Nothing at all. Of course not.
And here we are in, 2015, 40, 50 years after, heroin, documented heroin cases have been reported.
Right.
People are still doing it.
Why not? It's good for you.
Okay. The growing appetite in Europe and North America for the world's most notorious drug is inflicting serious collateral damage in an unexpected place.
Okay.
East Africa.
The East Africans are using heroin.
East Africans.
Okay.
In recent years, stricter, broader security in the Balkans and the warfare in the Middle East have disrupted the long-established routes smugglers use to bring heroin from Asia to the lucrative markets of the West. In response, they're increasingly moving their wares by sea through Kenya and Tanzania. That's becoming a problem for the locals. Soon after heroin entered the Tanzania port city of Dar es Salaam in the 1990s, its cruder form, brown instead of white, snaked its way into bustling urban neighborhoods, reports Al Jazeera's Sarkia Bansal.
Yeah. Okay.
A dose of brown heroin known on the street as a brownie cost as little as $1.
Wow.
$1 to get high.
That's not bad.
As a result, there are more than 500,000 heroin users in East Africa. Almost 1 billion people. 500 million people.
Wow.
The United Nations are now the United Nations now estimate more than in Tanzania are faced with the growing crisis.
couldn't we just fucking end this problem by lowering the price for a few years? Wouldn't that solve the problem?
Yeah, but who's in charge of the price control on it?
The same people. What, you think the government doesn't get a fucking piece of that? Honestly, you think the government, do you really think anything in any country, anywhere in this world, passes through 500 million hands and the government doesn't have something to do with it?
Well, to answer your question, the next sentence here kind of addresses the government.
Okay. All right.
Tanzania's government has launched a major effort to prevent and treat heroin addicts. As part of the initiative, it's embraced a tactic that has proved effective but still engenders controversy, providing junkies with methadone, a narcotic pain reliever.
Okay, which probably costs more than the $1 for the fucking hit.
That's probably true.
Oof.
So the pharmaceutical companies are the ones that are getting rich off of this.
Well, let's just go back a year and a half when I interviewed Rick Ross.
Right.
Remember that?
Right.
What was going on at the height of his drug use or his drug dealing? Fucking Nancy Reagan with the
say no and the Iran Contra affair, which they were funding that with the drug sales.
Yeah, the government was funding Rick to sell the sell the dope.
Right.
So clearly, these African governments, they can be throwing some money at fucking fixing the problem, but ultimately they have their hands in this.
Right. If they're only spending 1/10 of the money they're getting, they're getting away with 90% of it.
Yeah, of course. So again, I say, if you want to really solve the problem, lower the price, make it a quarter a hit.
Sure.
You'll end that problem in a hurry, and you'll fucking solve a bunch of other problems.
Sure.
World hunger, fucking the water shortage. You'll solve all kinds of shit by lowering the price of heroin in Africa.
Sure.
That's a good plan.
Tanzania's methadone clinics are the first in mainland sub-Saharan Africa. Few governments, donors, or nonprofits in Africa work with heroin users. Medicines du Monde, an international nonprofit that serves heroin users in Tanzania, estimates that fewer than 1% of drug users on the continent have access to support services, let alone treatment plans like methadone, writes Banzal. Well,
so it's useless.
Well, see, here's the thing that always gets me the most.
Yeah.
And again, this goes to my libertarian side.
Okay.
So you as an individual make the conscious choice to get involved with intravenous drug use.
Correct.
But now it's the government's problem to get you cleaned up and get off of it. Right. See, and again, this might sound cruel or inhumane as a way.
Yeah.
But in my viewpoint, and I'm speaking for me and me alone, if you're make a conscious choice to get involved with drugs and you become a drug addict,
right?
My viewpoint is fuck you, go die.
Drown.
That's my point. And people, oh, that's cruel, man. You got to do something about that. It's like, no, I don't, because I didn't make you put that needle in your arm and take those drugs.
You know, I could be way off on this, but I don't think the libertarians are going to embrace your view here.
No?
No.
I think that the libertarians take the attitude that you're responsible for yourself.
I don't think that you would find a true libertarian politician that would ever say, hey, you got hooked on drugs, die.
You don't think so? I think that's the attitude.
I think that should be the attitude, but you know, I mean, I get it. The reason they don't do that is because once you get hooked, then you fucking squandered your chance to fucking fix it. And ultimately, it's the same as this fucking dumbass healthcare. You can't just let people fucking die.
No, you can't. But my personal viewpoint is if you got yourself involved with this, that's your problem.
I agree too. Dude, as far as I'm concerned, go ahead, die. You want to smoke till you get fucking cancer? Go ahead, die.
Yeah, do it.
Drink your liver away? Die. You want to eat yourself through life and fucking die at 50? Believe me, I'm trying. Die. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to fucking help me. Personally, I'll do it myself or I won't. And that's it. Just like you're on your health kick right now. But if you chose not to, you're not begging anybody to fucking bail you out.
But that's my choice.
Yeah, of course. Of course. When I go on my fucking alcohol benders where I fucking drink 2 fists of fucking vodka a day, when I go all fucking stupid crazy, I don't want anybody to bail me out. That's my fucking problem.
Exactly.
And if I die from doing it, so fucking be it.
Sure.
That's the way it should be.
I agree.
The only thing I think the government has a responsibility to do is get my fucking carcass off the street. That's it, because there could be sickness and infection and shit that other people can catch from it.
Right. Tanzania's program is backed by PEPFAR, PEPFAR, the U.S. government's international initiative to combat HIV and AIDS.
Yeah.
Because heroin users, get this now. This is the part, this is why I brought this story to the table.
Okay.
Heroin users tend to spread the disease by sharing needles. Okay, that's nothing new.
Yeah.
Okay. About 5% of Tanzanians are HIV positive.
Okay.
5%.
Sure.
The number soars to 40% among Tanzanians who inject drugs. So almost 50% of intravenous drug users in Tanzania are HIV positive.
Sharing the same needles.
Right. Well, there's more to it than this. And when I read this, I was just like almost threw up in my mouth.
All right.
Because I knew about the whole sharing needles thing, but this is a whole new twist to it that I was not aware of.
Okay.
That's partly because of the practice known as flash blood.
All right.
Are you familiar with this?
I'm not. Flash blood?
Yes.
No.
One user shoots up, then draws his own blood and gives it to a cash-strapped buddy for a second-hand high.
Oh! Wow! So wait a minute. He shoots up.
And he gets his system full of heroin.
And then he pulls a vial
of his own blood so his cash-strapped buddy can shoot up with his vial of blood that's
Wait a minute. He's so cash-strapped that he doesn't have a buck?
What?
You said the shit was $1.
That's what they said.
So this guy is so strapped that he doesn't have $1.
So he's getting like a contact high.
Oh my God.
This is why I brought it to the table, because when I read that, I was like, holy fuck.
And that's called flash blood?
That's called flash blood.
I was never aware
I
of
was
flash
not
blood.
aware of it either. That's why I just was like, holy shit. Are you kidding me?
How high could you get off of a vial of somebody else's blood?
Well, I guess if you're so, cranked up with heroin through your system that it's enough to get you.
Yes. Dude, I swear to God, for the first time ever, I'm starting to believe the fucking zombie apocalypse is coming. Because that's the kind of shit that's got to turn people into zombies,
Right.
isn't it?
You would think so.
If anything's going to do it, that would be the kind of shit. Injecting your blood into somebody else because it has a fucking trace high of fucking heroin in it?
Yeah.
God damn.
I know. When I read that the first time,
Yeah.
and I thought, I'm bringing this to the show.
Jesus.
I was like, holy fuck, is that messed up?
That's fucked.
You know,
God, man.
I know. A walk through a dusty heroin shooting gallery. A shooting
A
gallery.
shooting gallery.
And Tamik
Yeah.
gives an indication of how common this practice is.
Right.
Several addicts drifted by with blood-filled needles attached to their limp arms and eyes glazed and mouths agape.
Jesus. Tell me how that's different from The Walking Dead again.
I'm agreeing with you. It's like the zombies.
This sounds like a fucking like next week's episode of that show.
Holy shit. Is that just horrific just to think about that?
Damn, that's fucking crazy.
The good news is that the methadone clinics seem to be helping. They seem to be helping.
But they only reach 1% of the fucking people.
Oh, my God.
They're helping who? There's 99% of the people here fucking shooting each other's blood in their shit.
I know.
God damn. So wait a minute, that was 50%?
They said 40% of intravenous drug users probably have HIV.
And that's 99% of the overall drug users, right?
Yes.
So that is roughly half of 100% of 500 million. That's 250 million people are doing this.
Right.
Get the fuck out. What the fuck?
Wow.
Smokes.
A local NGO, I don't know what that is, NGO, called Youth Volunteers Against Risky Behaviors, which hands out clean syringes in place where drug users hang out, is helping steer addicts to the clinic.
Yeah, you know what, at this point, I don't think it's the dirt on the needle that's the problem.
If you're injecting somebody's blood that's like,
Yeah.
you know,
That's already not clean.
It's spiked with heroin because you're looking to get a secondhand high.
And other than the heroin, do you really think the rest of their health is fucking stunning? I mean, do you think that you're injecting a perfectly healthy person who just happened to shoot up? I don't think so.
Oh, my God.
I think you're injecting some dude that's just fucking full of pus and bullshit in their fucking blood anyway. I mean, honestly.
I knew you would love this story.
Jesus.
I know. I just read that and my head just about exploded. I was just like, holy fuck, are you kidding me?
That's fucking crazy.
It is.
Now, I wonder if that takes away from their buzz, the original person.
Yeah, it's like you're draining me of my heroin.
Yeah, so does that bring you down a little bit?
I don't know.
I wonder.
Methadone isn't the only tactic the country is introducing. Former addict, blah, 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 introduced the 12-step program to the island of Zanzibar a few years ago. Now there are 11 recovery houses where 3,000 addicts have received treatment.
If somebody was giving you a vial of their blood with heroin in it, wouldn't it be easier just to ask them for $1? I mean, really,
dude, this is just too common sense for guys like you and I. But
I don't even think this is like rocket science here.
I understand, but I've never been an addict, so I don't know how fucked up that makes your common sense or ability to reason things out.
Can you imagine being so broke that between you and somebody else you couldn't come up with $2?
Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
So, hey, dude, give me some of your blood.
Give me some of your blood. I don't have $1.
I don't care for your disease. Just give me some, dude.
Care if your teeth are rotting out of your face. I'm sure the blood's fine.
Jeez.
God damn, man.
I know. They can use all the help they can get. Drug agencies are warning that Afghanistan, the world's top exporter of heroin, is pulling a record opium harvest this year.
Oh, that's good.
Which will likely send even more of the drug flowing through Tanzania.
Well, then they might get the price break I've been asking for since the start of this story. Shit might go down like the gas prices.
I know I shouldn't be laughing.
Why?
But it's just it's horrific.
It's hysterical.
It's horrific.
No, it's hysterical. I wonder if in these fucking, what did they call those places? The drug places?
They're like drug dens.
What did they say in the story? A shooting gallery?
Yeah, shooting gallery.
I wonder if they play like fucking Alice in Chains tunes in the shooting gallery there.
Yeah.
Spoon Man or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. Holy smokes.
I know. I knew you'd appreciate that. But